I'm attempting to do a video with a lot of things in it on a really warm day when I'm really tired and I've got a headache, so I'll try and keep it as high vibration as possible. I didn't have the time to write down everything I want to discuss, so I'll probably do it in part 1, part 2, who knows. The main subject is about the home education in France and our experience. But first of all, so I must warn you, I'm a bit all over the place, and so I don't want to all woe is me and all the rest of it, but I have to be honest about how I'm feeling, and try and share information, because that's what it's all about. First of all, there's 3 things. First of all, it's my birthday today. I want to say thank you so much to everybody that sent me messages, that have phoned me, contacted me, saying happy birthday. It means a lot to take time out to say that for my birthday. Thank you. It's got lost. My birthday's lost this week. Last week I've been in a really strange place, physically, emotionally, etc. So first of all, thank you. I had our delayed second home education inspection for the children today, so it's not been like a birthday at all. I have a wonderful husband who loves me very much, and I love him, and my children are amazing, and my family's amazing, and my friends. So that part of it, I've had a wonderful birthday. The other thing drained the shit out of me. I'm sat in our garden, it's so quiet around here. I'll try not to digress. I'll try and get as much information as I can into this video without my head wandering. So first of all, there's that. Thank you so much. It means the world to me that people take time out. I've just said that for my birthday, so thank you. Second of all, I haven't been doing much. I've been in a right state lately, and our family's been going through some things on top of everything else, and just quickly tell you really, because yeah, I didn't want to say at the time until it happened, but my second, I call them baby, child, daughter, has flown the nest, which for any parent is really hard, and especially she's gone back to England. River, I don't want to make this hard on everybody or anybody, but for her and for us, it's been a really emotional time. And yeah, so I don't want to dwell on that too much, but that's what's been happening, and that's been really hard. I warn you, I will cry in this video at some point. I'm really sorry. I'm not sorry really, but you know, I just thought I'd warn you. So yeah, that's been extremely heart-wrenching for all of us, but it wasn't working out here, and she missed all her friends in England, and there's lots more to it, but I won't go into detail. The education side of it, she had to do French and English for her home education here in France. It was really difficult. She tried for 3 years, she did really well, and in the end we've allowed her to go back to England to continue her education, because that's where all her family and friends are, and it's a hell of a lot easier for her to do that in England. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm not going into too much detail because that'll be the end of the video for me. I won't be able to talk anymore. So I love you, hope you're getting on really well. It's all fine. Anyway, that's the second thing. The third thing is the home education. People that have been following me, I want to share information on it. There's so much to it, I won't be able to cover all of it in this video, so that's why I keep stopping and starting and trying to retrack, try and get as much information out as I can. In France in general, Macron is trying to make home education illegal. He's making it extremely difficult for everybody. It's not just us, it's every family in France. In England it was a hell of a lot easier to do it, as I've discussed in previous videos numerous times. Here there's a lot more hoops to jump through. It's hard as a educating family in France anyway. It's harder for us because we're English, and as my friend said today, we're a round peg they're trying to push in a square hole. There's a lot to that. As I said, as you're following me, in March we had Florence had her second home education inspection in Mauriac, and this one was the first time for Forrest, because recently in France they changed the age down to 3. I think it was 6, I can't remember. So it was his first one. We failed on both accounts. They told us we passed on the day. We got a letter 2 weeks later saying that we didn't pass and they needed to see us again, and it was on my birthday. Yay, today. I sent them an email saying it was all over the place. How can you assess a child when it's a foreign environment, they have their masks on? It was extremely difficult for them. I try and keep this simple. I asked for 2 separate appointments so they can inspect them properly and assess them properly on their individual merits. So Forrest was today, Florence is tomorrow. That's why I'll do a second part to let you know the decision. Again, we can't trust anything they say on the day. We have to wait for the letter to come through officially. We're learning all the time. So we learnt more today. Forrest just clammed up. He clammed up. What I keep thinking is round peg, square hole. The French love their paperwork, they love their system. Everything is just so, and we've arrived doing our things and we don't fit into their pigeonholes. So last year they got social services on us and we had to jump through hoops to prove that we weren't mistreating our children because we lived in a barn, because the education people turned up, and that Florence's first inspection she clammed up. It's alien for them to put them through something like that, and we're dealing with a system, we're dealing with robots basically in a system, and this way they come back again basically. And on the second inspection, so that first inspection they reported us to social services, and this was the beginning of my illness last year. I didn't have a mental breakdown, my body went, it was a physical one I think, and I've been recovering ever since. This last week with all the emotional stuff we've been going through, that's what I was going to say, there's been like a full moon and this weird eclipse and all this astrological stuff going on. It's been really intense for everybody. And I've been on my period as well, which drained the shit out of me. So that's where I've been. That's why I've not been discussing it very much, but I need to get all this information out. People that are following us, following the home education stuff in France, still all over the place. The law's changing and everyone's grasping at straws, the French, let alone the English. So 6 months of proving that we were okay. We passed with flying colours, of course. Anyone that knows us knows we don't mistreat our children, and we love them to pieces. And in my eyes, the children are healthy, they're happy. I'm happy with their progress in education, I'm happy with their progress in French, but they're not progressing like in the French. They want us to speak French first, even though we're English. But I do understand that they need to speak French, and that's fine with me, you know. So basically today, Forrest just clammed up, and I think it's wrong. The first inspection for a child, I mean, Florence was 5 last year. Her first inspection was bad enough for us. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know the rules or anything. They judged us on if she was already been at school, and this was her first inspection. We had no idea. We thought we'd get some guidance, and we didn't. So we completely failed that one. Until the second one, and she passed with flying colours, of course. Again, today, Forrest has only just turned 4. He's only just been 3, and he's only just started speaking English properly in coherent sentences the last few months, and they want him to be speaking French. Again, we're dealing with a system that ticks check boxes and doesn't see us as a human family. It's bizarre. I'll give the ladies their due today. They didn't wear their masks, so they must have... it's not mandatory to wear masks. It wasn't last time and they did. So, but I'm really grateful that they didn't. But the children didn't like the environment at all. It was in a school setting. The school was in the background. The room was echoey. It was very regimented, and that's not what they're used to. So at home, Forrest speaks French. He says various things. He counts a bit in French. He counts in English. But he didn't do any of that today. And this is his second inspection. The first one was just chaos in March. So we had a huge discussion with them. This is why I need to discuss it with people. They're very harsh in the way they write their letters and things. So last year, in a letter, we got told that if we don't educate them properly, then I can go to jail and be fined €7,500. Jail 6 months, I think. Was it 3 months? 6, I think. So they threatened that at us last year. You know, no wonder we were in a right state. So that's why I asked them about it today. I said, well, this is our last chance. What's the next step if you say no and force us to go to school because we don't vaccinate our children also? Everyone's telling us, oh, shush, shush, don't talk about it. But why do we not talk about it? This is the problem. This is the problem, that people don't talk about it. We've got to stick to be sovereign, and we have to stick to our guns. And to us, there's nothing wrong with that. Our children are healthy. That's our choice. Even with the COVID stuff, if to be jabbed or not to be jabbed, it's an individual choice. You shouldn't be penalised for it. They don't like that. They don't like anything we do, really. And you need 11 jabs to go to school for the children. 11. So basically, the decision, if the decision is negative after Florence's one, I mean, Florence is going to just be brilliant. She speaks loads of French, but whether she speaks the French that ticks their boxes is another matter. So I have no idea whether we're going to pass or whether we're going to fail. I've no idea. In our eyes, our children are amazing and they're doing a really good job, and we're trying really hard, and we're buying all this French videos and books, and our classroom we've got in the barn is full of bilingual posters, and we have games, and we do so much in a day. And they interact with a variety of people, some children, some adults, in a French environment. But again, they said to us in March that they want us to interact, the children to interact with French-speaking people on a daily basis. Now, our closest friends don't have time to come round and do that. It's just impossible. If we lived in a city or a town, then it would be possible, but we live in the middle of the country. It's impossible to do that. They're making us jump through ridiculous hoops, and I understand the ladies, the inspectors' position, but they've got to present it to a higher person, and it's the higher person that doesn't even speak to us or have even met us that makes the decision, yes or no. So I've no idea which way this goes. So if they say no, we don't pass, we have 15 days to get them into school. Well, I'm not sticking 11 jabs in my children. That's another video entirely. We have to get an exemption from the doctor to say that they're not to be vaccinated for medical reasons, which is our private matter, our private medical situation. If we can get that, which to be honest we have, then they'll take that as an exemption and they can go to school. And we went to the public school in the village, and they were very nice, and we asked them lots of questions, and they would take that exemption as well. But then we decided we wanted to continue home educating, because that's how they are, that's how we are, that's how we want to do it. You know, we want to continue. They're making it extremely hard for us. if they make us go to school within 15 days and we say no, then that's when all the other threats come in, and it becomes extremely difficult, and we don't want to fight. We've been fighting for 2 years and we really don't want to go into full-on fight mode. I mean, don't flipping push me. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and if they push me and push me and push me, then I will go into that warrior. Don't get me wrong, I ain't going to be... And I said today in the meetings how I think the law is shit on the first inspection bit of it and stuff, and how they're boom, 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 and we almost feel like we're being picked on because we're like boom, boom in the system. It's so harsh. Even the French say it's harsh on every level, not just the home education. We don't want to say no. Luckily, there's a private school which isn't too expensive in the village, and they do Montessori. Anyone that does home education knows what that is. They teach the children on an individual. They still do the curriculum, national curriculum, but they teach your child on a individual basis based on their needs, how slow or fast they learn. And the woman that runs the school has been so helpful in her emails, and they've even said that one of her teachers will teach the children French, but it's just not good enough for the system to do that, and they're trying to push us into school. So that I wanted to share that information, how difficult it is, and I'm going to do a part 2, because after tomorrow's decision, by some miracle they might turn around and say, do you know what, we think you're ace. Because we are. It's taken 1,000,000 years for them to realise it, luckily the hope is they judge us on a family, not on a child individual basis. So they're impressed with us so far with what we've achieved. That hopefully somebody will turn around and say, Forrest is in a good family, in a good position, he's very sociable in general, they trust my decision, and they'll say Florence has improved with flying colours and we're going to let you continue. And believe me, behind the scenes, that's the vibration and the energy that I'm putting out as much as I can. I've been so floored. Literally these last couple of weeks I've been inconsolable. It's like someone's opened a tap up and I can't stop letting out these energetic... I ain't cried yet. Wow, I've got a headache though, I don't know. But yeah, well done me. I've just realised I don't know if I've got everything I wanted to say into this video. It's not the highest vibration I wanted to put into it, but it's the information that counts. The law is changing, so what our situation aside, the law is changing very, very soon, this September. And I know that they want to, if we want to continue home educating in general, people in France, that you have to do a CV and apply to home educate your children and prove that you have the qualifications. Now, I don't know many teachers that home educate their children that are qualified, so that's going to be a lot of people in shit in France. I don't know which way that'll go. I don't know if people will kick off. There's not that many families in France compared to England that are home educating, but there are thousands, I think. So, and they're a very tight network as well. You know, they're really pushing the agenda. I don't know what's going on in the world, how it's going to play out anyway, with all the restrictions and everything. So that's my journey and our experiences today. So again, thank you very much for everybody who supports us. There's lots and lots of positive things going on in our house, in our family, in our lives. We have some wonderful friends, lots of people helping us. And I tell you what, we found out who our real friends are by who sticks around and who's helped us on our journey, and that's fine, you know. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say really. So I keep thinking that I've got things I'm missing out, but if I have, then I can tell you in part 2. I'll let you know in part 2 how we got on. Yay! So keep sending us those positive vibes. We're trying our best. We've got a pool, and because I've been on my period, I haven't been able to go in this week. Oh my god, it's so hot. stifling, but the kids and Roy have been in the pool, have been having a great time every day, twice a day. So lots of love to everybody. Hopefully my next one will be such a positive one that it'll be like divine intervention. That's all I can say. See you soon. Au revoir.